Look what I got here. Hanging. Not for long. Actually, my chair is kind of, well, I guess it doesn't cut into too much of his picture. So I'm just going to point every time. I put my map above his head like he's thinking about all those things. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I decided not to do a Crackbook Live today because it froze out, I guess, so many times last time. And I just ain't nobody got time for that. So today is the 20th of the 4th month, and it's time. Everybody celebrates that I know of. Well, not really celebrates, but they make sure they got extra hanging around for today, and they usually center their day around whatever weed activities they are. And if you don't know where 420 gets its name from, apparently that was the time that weed smokers would go out in the 60s after class and blaze up. So it's also HITLER's birthday today, and we're in the second day of preparation of the negative vibration. So this is super important to keep your vibes up. And I'll be doing a recording with Fifth Element Goddess later on today about a couple of very interesting observations we've been making about the whole 17th letter movement and what's going on with information and that sort of thing. So today's just kind of a quick catch up on stuff that has been going on. How can I put this? Our internet is intermittent. That's why I did this recording this morning. I tried to get on just my regular old landline internet, which is Shaw, and it cut out like probably, I don't know, 5 times. Sorry, you don't have internet. And I know I just paid the bill, so, well, I pay it every month. But anyways, yeah, so there's problems. And then there was a lot of outages with Rogers and stuff like that across Canada yesterday. RBC, that's the Royal Bank of Canada, which I deal with and have been, unfortunately, for many years. They've experienced for over a month now issues of logging into your account and doing stuff. And then I guess on Friday, there was a big hubbub there and their stock dipped and then went back up. So we're seeing a lot of different things going through right now electronically, and that's all good stuff happening, if you ask me. So I did post and Sapphire did post into the Telegram, on our Telegram page, all the outages and then all of that. So a special shout out to a couple of people. One, I miss you, Oracle Spouse. I hope you're doing really well. I haven't talked to you for ages. I hope you're working hard and you're feeling happy. And the other, Willie Williams, hi, friend. That's just for you. I appreciate all you do in the group chat and keep those posts coming. So, yeah, anyhow, on with some of the rest of the stuff. So everybody was flipped out yesterday about the frankspeech.com. I'm going to explain my interpretation, and this is just my opinion of it, okay? So how do you get more patriots to go to one place than ever and show them evidence? Well, you start up your own website. So he did. And there's a thing called a honeypot. And if you don't know what that means, I'm going to read it to you because I think I screenshot it somewhere. And I wanted to see if Google would put it on there, actually. It says, is a security mechanism that creates a virtual trap to lure attackers. An intentionally compromised computer system allows attackers to exploit vulnerabilities so you can study them to improve your security policies. So to me, this was an operation to see where all the low level and other things, he had a lot of calls pretending they were Trump and everything. That was seriously and all, I believe, a controlled operation by the good guys to basically get more of these little rat bags out of the the sand pits as far as I'm concerned. So how do you bring them all up to the front of the page? Well, you open up one where you say you're not going to be hacked. And guess what? I thought it was brilliant. So people thinking that the people who set up Frank's speech are bad, I don't think you're really getting how these operations are taking place. This is like way beyond my area of expertise in military maneuvers. But to me, after seeing all the evidence, I'm like, clever, really clever. And that actually ties a few movies together too. So, and I think that's why these movies are being shown on Disney and on Netflix. Like they literally, everyone on Disney, I'm like, oh, well, that's what's happening right now, or that's what's happening, or that's when they told us this didn't happen and it did, and all of this stuff. So, yeah, exactly. Isn't it funny how most of the smokers, it's a lot of like we're talking about that, and that's what the show is going to be on a little bit tonight, or most of it tonight, is the divine femininity and how there's so many women that are uprising and getting their throat chakra cleared and standing up for themselves, even in the smallest of situations, like going into a stupid store, for example. So there's a lot of women just not putting up with it. So I think the women are more predominant in this situation right now, even though to me it's like, yeah. But anyways, we'll get into that later. So what else was I going to talk about on Telegram? I can't really remember. Oh, I want to talk about Crackbook for a minute. So I've been basically banning people that are name calling, like you're loony or quit posting this shit or whatever. I don't have time to get into people like in their arguments. I just don't. Block, delete. I actually had one lady email me, how dare you block me on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, get over yourself, delete. Like, honestly, I don't care. Like if you're just going to sit there and post crap, you'll get deleted out of this thing too. Like I delete a lot of comments every day because it's just not sitting in my vibe. I don't know, part of my birth chart that I was reading, once I know the truth, like it can't be taken away from me. And the other parts of my birth chart that I thought were really fascinating, this is why my last video was on do your own research, because I've been even reading over some of my friends and I'm like, no wonder we always, not butt heads, but we always are like, why are they always talking about this or that or whatever? It's because of the birth chart. And I'm Bossy Spice, by the way. That's just a fact now, just so you know. So, yeah, I thought it was too. But I still think they use that in police code too, that 420. I'm not sure. So, but as far as I know, in this big game of life, I'll just say it's the game of life we're playing. To me, like, I don't know, like over the last year, the awakening has happened to many people. I get that. But it depends where you started in your spiritual power pellets. And that's what I think. Like either you started like from a religious platform or a spiritual platform or an atheist platform, or you didn't believe in any of that. There's a lot of different places but then our spirituality part grew. And so it depends where you were, I think, in 2012. And it depends what you did in the last 8 years and how that's affecting your life. Like if you've spent the last 8 years, especially, or 9 years, especially, formulating your own growth towards your spirituality, the depth of which I understand this map is very, it's like, I understand the octopus and all of the tentacles, but to go into each one of the tentacles and tell you what is going on, that's not my area of expertise. My area of expertise is to explain the octopus, the tentacles, and how they're all related. So, and what the octopus actually represents, if that makes sense. So my intuition and spiritual growth has gotten so so profound that as of last night, I swear honestly, I don't have dreams that are like, I have dreams, but they're not as vivid as they've been getting. And they're just so to the point where I'm like, I think I'm in my ex-boyfriend's house watching him take care of him, like doing routine exercise, like things at night, like your regular daily activities with your family. Like his, like it was really bizarre is the only thing. I was kind of freaked out and I'm like, why is he inviting me into the shower? And then, it was just so bizarre. And then I realized, oh, I was watching him with the family or through her, or very strange. And so I do believe that we're like, the more closer we get to the event and all of this happening, we should be um, uh, able to come to a point where all of these basically timelines or what have you are in the now time. So everybody can see the past, present, and future. I think that's what I'm kind of getting at. I didn't smoke enough for me to make that sense while I was talking about it. But my matrix too is glitching so heavy duty. So some of the things I tell people is to dream a lot. First of all, I don't drink alcohol, and I really have not drank alcohol. That I know that sounds hardcore, but I have not drank alcohol for probably, like when I went to Europe, I drank 2 years ago in 2019. I was there for 4 months, and for 2 weeks, over the 2 weeks that my ex was with me traveling, I think I probably drank maybe 3 bottles of wine myself, like over that time, 2 weeks or whatever, that's not a lot of, it's like, was maybe one glass or half a glass every night or something. But I don't process alcohol. So, and it's a spirit, just so you know. So it kind of takes away your ability to tap into source, as far as I'm concerned. And I do believe cannabis helps it. So I've been a big fan of cannabis for a long time. I have had taken a while to figure out. I've also, over the course of 20, 30 years of smoking it quite religiously, probably closer to 35. Um, but I've learned when I can literally, I don't have an addiction to it. I love sitting and doing the smoking part of it. That's why I have a one hitter. And if you don't know what that is, this thing, they call it a penny hitter, I think, in the UK. So you just have your weed in here and your little thing here, and it's like a little pipe, and you tap your weed in there and light it, and it's just like, oh yeah, whatever. I just like sitting there. But I've also, if anybody knows Canada, I moved from like Winnipeg area in Manitoba, okay, like out in the sticks. And it was probably a 27-hour drive or some shit like that to Nelson, BC, which is the pot capital of Canada. And I didn't smoke weed for 3 months. True story. People are like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just detoxed it out of my system and didn't really, I've been smoking really shitty stuff in Manitoba. And no offense, Manitoba, but you don't grow the dankest of weed, just saying. But yeah, what's up? What, you can't be mean. You can't be mean about him if you're going to be on this channel. Just saying. So you'll get deleted because we're all fans here. And it's actually, I've got one bid on this fellow right now. It's up for auction. So silent bid to Raven Moonstone Art at protonmail.com. Get your bids in before Thursday, the 22nd. Thank you. Anyways, so yeah, what I was going to say is when if you do consider cannabis as an option for pain relief or for whatever, I recommend getting someone that smokes a lot or does a lot to help you through the process. And there's a difference between CBD and THC, big difference. And I smoke sativa, if anybody wants to know. When I go into a store, I'm like, all right, it depends on how lazy I am and how much money I have, but I usually go for these few things. Sativa, pretty good tasting, high THC. So, and that usually narrows it down to 1 or 2 items on the list. So, whatever. Sometimes I'll end up going all the way down to like a 17% THC, which was my last bag. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't do a heavy indica, man. I'm like a couch rider. I don't do anything at all. I'm like, I'm hungry. I could put on weight with indica. I do like. I put on a lot of weight. Yeah, so when I smoke sativa, I figured that out when I was renovating a house, I think in 2007. I was like in a lot of pain, and because I was doing a lot of physical labor, and these people who rented my house trashed the fuck out of it. I don't even mean a little bit. I mean $40,000 worth of damage. Okay. These are the only people I did a credit check onto through the property agency I had looking after my place. Oh, I felt sorry for their pit bull. It was tied up to the side of my house, and it like ripped a hole literally like in a circle from where it was tied up on my back patio and everything. It was just rank. It was so rank. So it was a lot of damage. But I started smoking even heavier then. And because of working so hard and smoking, I wasn't concentrating on eating. That's another thing about sativa. It doesn't make me hungry. So, which is good. But it's different for everybody. It's different. Everybody. Like I keep saying, you don't want to pull a Marilyn and be like, for 2 hours in a field. No, I didn't freeze. Happy 420, everybody. So I'm going to do a card reading for 420. Wouldn't it be cool if we got the cards that were numbered 4 and 20? I don't even know what they are. So anyways, today is supposed to be a happy day, a magical day for, I don't know, this number. Oh, you smoke for 40 years? Oh, good. I love all these stoner people. There's 2 cards that popped out. I might even try and get 3. So you got 2 married. Oh, happy anniversary. Yay. On 420. Exactly. Nice. Happy anniversary. I'm anxious, but bag on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Here we go. It's the shedding. Okay, yes. I was thinking, if the spaceship beamed me up. We were laughing about this, actually. The 4 Swans had a group chat last night. And it's Galactic Spice, Sapphire Spice, and Listen, Linda, and I. So we were just cracking up about this Matrix and how we were just so over it. And I was sitting in the dark, kind of in the dark, smoking my 1-hitter while we were on the phone. And I'm like, oh, I just want the fucking spaceship to zoom me up. And Galactic Spice was like, she's like, you're just hoping that they have really good, like, alien cannabis up there. And I'm like, oh, for sure. If not, I'm like, okay, put me back down on Earth until it's all over. But I'm sure they even have something where you could just co-create it on the spaceship, and you're just like totally in the perfect zone that you need to make everything make sense in the universe. So so anyways, I have 3 cards hitting here, and we'll see what they say, that they tell of the story. Oh, I was thinking about doing a big, because I know there's people out there that decode all the songs, and then the girl who does True or Q Patriots news on Telegram, she does a really good job. Sometimes it's like over my head, like it's way too detailed. I'm like, I just kind of needed the overview, but I always share those because they're super important. But she finds like tons of stuff in like she decodes a lot of stuff. So props to you, lady. I think she's from Vancouver and she's a Canadian. I'm not 100% sure though. Anyhow, but I do like going through even, okay, I was watching, I'll just tell you, Criminal Minds the other day, and I've never really watched that show. And they literally had one episode after the other about SRA. And if you don't know what that is, it's the last word is abuse, and the second one is ritualistic. So you can figure out what the first word means. Anyways, and how it was, you know, kind of more like if they believed in devil worshiping, it was only because they were teens and they were angry, or if they're like schizophrenic and they wanted to blame the devil. Like those were the only two options they actually gave for that kind of shit. And I was like, come on, come on. So anyhow, oh, thank you, Australia. I love you. Charlie Freak just decoded Michael Jackson. Oh, that's cool. So I don't watch hardly anybody. People ask me if I watch other psychics. The answer is no, I don't, because I don't like getting information from anyone else. And I'm not saying I'm like the albeit psychic. I'm here in the present now, just giving you a card reading and stuff. But I don't, because for the last 9 years, I've really been practicing my own intuition and vibration. So just saying. So I've got 3 cards. There's one, and then there's 2 like this, and there must be a reason that they're like this. I don't know. The first card, woo, joy. Nice, love it. Second card, fear. Interesting. Oh, and there's the bee again, you guys. We got the lucky bee. That's 2 times. The last 2 times, I believe, we got the bee. So I'm going to read fear first because we're going to dispel that with joy and the bee. And it was the last card pulled too. This marker asks you to identify how fear may be affecting you on this part of your journey. Are you afraid of failure, perhaps worried about success and the changes it brings as it pushes you to be all you can be? Are you afraid of losing something you don't yet have? Is your fear valid? Have you seen actual evidence of adversity or trouble, or are you seeing false evidence which gives appearance of being real? Fear is a crippling companion and indicates the loss of faith and connection to the divine. Remember that the God-Goddess doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Fear comes from the part of you that identifies with separation, division, and form. To release yourself from it, remember that you, at first and foremost, are an infinite soul. Look through those eyes, and fear will subside as you remember to trust the way of the mystery. Don't struggle with fear. Look inside to see the part of you that is afraid. Send love, light, and compassion inward. This would be a very good time to write an inventory of your fears and their possible solutions. Once on paper, you may find that you've been afraid of fear itself. This is an auspicious omen of transformation. Transformation, people. That's what it's all about. So into joy. This marks a time for celebration. This portends the joyous, see, that's what we're celebrating today. Weed, among other things. For this portends the joyous completion of a project, the attainment of a goal, and the ending of a long and arduous journey. Oh, please let that be the truth, right? When you're thirsty, this marker promises that you'll find a well. When you're cold, a blanket. When you're hungry, nourishment. Joy also has another aspect, for not only does it celebrate receiving blessings from the fruits of actual labor, but it's also about sharing of it. Joy celebrates itself. Its very essence radiates beauty and well-being. Like the spring sun breaking through after a long and gloomy winter, joy reminds us to be grateful for all the gifts of life. Joy bestows the blessings of happiness. You truly have reason to smile when this marker appears on your path. Whoop, whoop. I love it. And the lucky bee, here we go. Luck, industriousness, and sweet victory. When the bee buzzes on your path, it's a reminder that with hard work and firm commitment to building your dream, a sweet outcome is assured. The bee is a symbol of luck, so expect miracles in your life will be victorious and sweet. Remember that you can also create your own luck. That is essential. Effort is essential as you progress along the path in order to make your dreams a reality. The bee is an industrious, busy creature that's always making honey. The bee gets busy, and that honey will soon be yours. The bee is always a fortunate omen. I love, 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 love. The government has made it, oh, that's stupid, has made it impossible to buy cannabis there. That's baloney. So I love it. Just sending you screenshots of Osho, Zen, Tarot, 4 and 20. Oh, the Rebel and Beyond Illusion, respectively. Oh, nice. Rebel Beyond Illusion. Good tag for Raven. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you. That's awesome. So I appreciate it. This is the card we read from is Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of Avalon card, in case anybody is wanting to know that. But I'm sending everybody light and love today. I'm going to go out for my long, what I like to call my long weed walk, and connect. I'm going to try and get a picture of Lady Di printed today and one of Junior, John Jr., and get that printed out. And I just want everybody to tap into something, okay, when they're feeling fearful and scary and all of that. Death is really an illusion. And I mean that after losing my friend and having a few people commit suicide and, you know, my mother. It is an illusion. And I do, like, the more closer I get to the awakening, I realize that more and more and more is that whether you believe in the religious aspects of heaven and all of that stuff, heaven to me is the energy unseen around us, okay? The light and love that exists all around us and pushes us forth. Heaven is on earth right now in mostly it's going to a peaceful transition. So that's where we're at right now, is getting rid of the dark, hellish ages on our planet and going to a heaven on earth. So why I say death is an illusion is because we're all vibration, frequency, and energy. So I do believe we kind of get to choose when that happens if we're conscious. And that's why I say I wish people consciousness, because full consciousness is accepting the fact that we are immortal spirits having a biological entity. So we have the capability to live many, many, many years beyond what we've been told we've been like living. These decaying biological entities won't be decaying anymore, because the decaying and all of those old programs, even the menstrual cycle, is a program put on us. So when we clean off those bits of clouded up computer bits in our vibration, we are like heavenly light and love bodies, all of us. Okay. So the more we accept that we're literally driving our meat suit, just like the little necklace on the cat and Men in Black, we are all our own galaxy kind of up here. All right. And we're all billions of years old up here. We are immortal spirits, immortal, infinite, immortal, on and on and on. Billions of years old, all of us. So a lot of people can't get that concept. And this biological entity, even with my children that I'm experiencing right now, who knows what will happen when we go through the event? Who knows what will happen in that time to even our children, because they will have a choice. Everybody will have a choice to stay in this biological entity, to come back into the one, or to stay like and keep going, or to let that one go. That's where it's at right now. That's the parts of the Bible, which is the basic instruction before leaving Earth. So if you guys haven't read Majestic Messages from MJ12, it's a wonderful 600, 800 page document that hopefully somebody will plop into my group chat and have a read on it, because we're at the time, we're going to talk about this with Fifth Element Goddess later today. We're at the time that we all need to tap in to that energy right there. Not the timelines going on, but that energy. And we're going to talk about how to do that later tonight. So what happened to grandkids? My grandkids? They're all the kids, I believe, all the kids that are on the planet right now, literally, are star seeds. And what that means is they're literally coming here to hold our hand and guide us along the way. That's why you meet so many kids and you're like, holy, you're lit. I have dreams of flying. I have dreams of running so fast. I have dreams. That's because they all realize that they're superpowers. They're all beings that when we tap in to all of our abilities and all of our brain functions, go watch the movie Lucy. Go watch like any of like the superhero movies. We have all of that capability within us right now. And if you don't believe me, go watch a person getting electrocuted. I'm sure you can find one online, and that person's body flies far away. It's because their muscles contract. It's not because the energy pushes them that way. So it's fascinating when you start figuring out how we're all wired, and literally it's amazing and mind-boggling. So go smoke a whole pile of it. Go sit outside if you can. Get your vibes grooving with the 432 of the earth. That's where we're headed. When we start recognizing and raising ourselves up to that vibration, I do believe that we'll be able to see, hear, and acknowledge everything. So I believe everybody's waiting for the 72% of Earth to get to consciousness level. And if we're not all paying attention to stuff, then we're paying attention to time or money or this 3D meat suit, then we're not actually speeding up the collective consciousness of anything, if that makes sense. So you have to smoke it. What's the best way to find out what weed? Yeah, you kind of have to smoke it for it. Yeah, take one puff of it, and everyone on Earth should smoke it. I believe that true. So how do we find Galactic Spice? Oh, you can follow Galactic Spice on Duomo and the Fifth Element Goddess. So it's DUO capital MU and the Fifth Element Goddess on YouTube. So I've had her link in here a couple of times. I just call her Galactic Spice because she's from the galaxy. Anyways, what's your estimate where we can, I have, my percentage wise now? I honestly don't know. Like I was talking about this the other day, and okay, if we take the people who aren't awake to the truth but pray like religiously, like, or spiritually or whatever, or meditate, but they don't know all of the truth, that is raising the consciousness of the planet, period. There's 80 million people that pretty much tuned in yesterday to Frank's speech, or almost 80 million people that watched that thing. So when you take that into comparison, and that's probably mostly Americans that were tuning in to the whole entire spectrum of who's awake on the earth, I don't know. I'm really hoping that even if people aren't awake to all of the truth, I'm hoping that over 50% of the population right now is spiritually or religious, awake to God and awake to a higher power and awake to keeping the vibration sustained in a higher frequency. Plus we're getting help as well. So whether they think anything is happening or not, like I sent my two older kids the RBC stuff, and even though the second one is still cheesed off at me, he's like, nothing's going on from my area. And I'm like, well, I've been having problems. He's like, well, I'm fine. And I'm like, okay, just keep your eyes peeled, because but may I ask what speech I'm talking about? Oh, I don't even, it's 111 viewers. I don't even know what I was talking about just now. Sorry. I'm like, yeah. Have to rewind it and look at it. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much where, I'm hoping that we're at least halfway there. I'm really hoping, like, I'm really, really, really hoping, because even if I go to the grocery store, okay, one of the cashiers there told me over Easter weekend, the Lord has risen. And I'm like, even though I'm not a religious person, I'm like, yes, he has. Like, anything to keep those vibrations high. And like, it's not hopium. It's actually because we're hitting a different type of earth. And I see it. I feel it. I don't know if I'm from the future, from the past, or whatever. I don't know yet. But I know that I've been able to witness a lot of previous timelines and see a lot into what the new earth will look like. And the only ways, the movies I can describe it, or go watch Fifth Element and see flying cars and magnetic things working with each other. And like, I think what we're going through right now is we're all the guys in 12 Monkeys. Everybody thinks we're nutters. Like, we're all the Brad Pitts running around. So, or the Bruce Willis, I should say. So anyways, but which is interesting. Now actually bringing an Avatar, you're right too, is a good movie to look at. So what is with you? You're being so rude, dude. Gotta get rid of that person. Anyways, so I love you guys. Stay in your highest of frequencies and your highest of vibration. Delete the trolls, block them all. I can do. Oh, it wasn't a speech yesterday by Frank. Frankspeech.com was the website put up, if that's what you missed. And Mike Lindell of My Pillows made that website, so it would be free of being hacked. That's what the whole thing was about. So the Frank speech got hacked. That's the bottom line to that whole operation. So, yeah. But anyways, I love you guys. Yes. Oh, dude. I don't know what your problem is. You just need to go remove you and just get rid of you, because you're just annoyance. Put user in a timeout. There, you're in a timeout, Mr. Negative Nelly. That's how I deal with all of you. So light and love to you guys. Have fun, get outside, and yeah, try not to get bogged down in the research today. Hopefully we'll put up a good video later this evening. It won't be until it's morning time in Australia. And yeah, we're all bright and chipper. I love you guys. Have a good day.